It's always fun to find a new TV show that you enjoy. Whether it be live action, cartoon, or anime, it doesn't matter. It's always exciting to find a new show. The show can have plenty of characters, some that you might relate to, and you're just like, I love this. I feel so much to these characters. I would love to just get to know them a bit more and dive into this world. When it comes to cartoons and anime more, now and then we'll get a video game adaptation and we get to explore the worlds and play these characters. Well, that's sort of the dream. But when big companies come out and announce that they are making games of certain franchises or IPs that you like, the bar of expectation goes up. If the show is getting so much love, then the video game should get a lot of love and money put into it. But sometimes this isn't always the case. About a year ago, I released a video on 7 Deadly Sins, Knights of Britannia. I am a huge fan of the 7 Deadly Sins. This shouldn't really come as a shock to anyone, especially if you're familiar with my outfit. This is Meliodas' Season 2 outfit, the boar hat uniform. Another thing you guys don't know about him is because I haven't shown it yet, I also have the Dragon Sin of Wrath tattooed onto me because I really like the show so much. After finding out about the show, I wanted to dive in to get as much media and items as I could from the franchise. So I went out and I bought a couple mangas, and I even got the complete first season on Blu-ray. And fun fact, actually, did you know, for some reason, this is the only season of 7 Deadly Sins on Blu-ray, DVD, or whatever. This is ridiculous. We need all the seasons. Please, thank you, Netflix. So not only did I get the mangas and the Blu-ray of Season 1, but I was also wondering if there might be any video games on this. And actually, fun fact, a video game is what got me into the series. My mom was playing 7 Deadly Sins Grandcross on her computer, and I was like, what is that? And she wanted me to play it with her, and she said that 7 Deadly Sins Grandcross follows the anime completely. And I was like, forget that, just put on the anime. And I fell in love with it. I downloaded the game, and I fell in love with the game. But were there console 7 Deadly Sins games? And there are, yes, there are 2 of them. One came out exclusively in Japan, so I'm not really going to count in this video, but I did want to bring it up. It is a 3DS title called 7 Deadly Sins Unjust Sin. I'm hoping to get it, but it looks like it's just a side-scroller game, so on 3DS, and that's pretty cool. And the other one, 7 Deadly Sins, The Knights of Britannia. About a year ago, I made a video on this game. At the time, I was so hyped on this series that they put so much love and care into the anime. At the time, I was only on the 2nd season, and I wanted the exact same quality and love put into the game. I did not get that. The game looked outdated. It wasn't fun, and I was completely just utterly destroyed and just felt so heartbroken that the game came out that way. I felt the game should have got enough love like the Ultimate Ninja Storm games. So I made the video and I uploaded it. And as time has gone on, I've played it a bit more. I've actually replayed the campaign from where I was and got a little bit farther. I'm almost at the end. I've unlocked a bit more characters. I've had time to sit down and play the multiplayer a bit more. I have to say, in that original video, I was too harsh on the game, and I wanted to give it a second look. But I didn't want to just make a second look video on this, because in 2019, an anime called Demon Slayer came out. Demon Slayer is really good. I fell in love with Demon Slayer. It instantly became top 3 anime of all time. They had the Season 1 and then the Mugen Train movie, which I saw in theaters and I loved it. It was amazing. So a bit later on, I found out that a Demon Slayer video game was coming out, and I was beyond excited. The trailer showed you could fight as all your favorite characters. It looked like it was going to be the Ultimate Ninja Storm of Demon Slayer, and that's exactly what I was asking for. In the trailer, they showed that you could walk through towns, you could track, you were actually playing the anime, and I was so fucking excited for this game, so excited that when it came out, day 1, I got it. And god damn it, it's not exactly what I wanted, but it is at the same time. And this is where the idea hit me that I was going to do a comparison of both these games, because both of these games do things right in their own regards, and they both do things wrong in their own regard. And since it came first, we are going to look at Seven Deadly Sins first, and then I'm going to tackle Demon Slayer, and then we're going to look at them both together, and then we're going to end with our conclusion. So, this is Seven Deadly Sins, Knights of Britannia's second look. You know, being a Seven Deadly Sins fan is kind of rough. We had an amazing first 2 seasons that were beautifully animated. We got a movie, Seven Deadly Sins, The Prisoner of Sky, and while being beautifully animated, it was meh. And at this point, the decline started to happen. The original studio then left. A1 Studios officially left Seven Deadly Sins and kind of just left it hanging for a while. Thanks to Studio Dean, though, they came in and scrapped together a quick season 4 or 3 if you're in Japan. The animation was just horrible, and I am huge on my animation in anime. Now, I know the animation was rougher on Japanese television, and Netflix kind of spiced it up a little bit and tweaked it, but it's still a glaring difference from the first 2 seasons to now. And when this came out, everyone bashed it, and for good reason too. These amazing animated fights turned to these watered down, awkward slugfest. I don't know why, but it was just clear that Studio Dean couldn't capture the same look and feel that A1 brought, but they stuck with it, and I do appreciate them for that, because now the series is finished because of them. So not only was the anime getting worse, but we also got a PlayStation 4 game that was just underwhelming. I made a lot of points in the Seven Deadly Sins video that I previously did, and I don't really want to repeat a lot of the things I've said, so some of the stuff I'm just going to gloss over. One thing that bothers me about this is, and I know Netflix owns the English streaming rights, but I still feel that this game should have had English dubbing to it. I think it's lazy, and there's no excuse why there shouldn't have been. The Seven Deadly Sins, Knights of Britannia. How do they handle the story in this game? Well, it's not good. The story in this game is told through all the character models in their static idle position with text dialogue underneath them. And the only real animation these models have is just some minor lip syncing animation they do when the text is being read off. Some of the PNGs, you have a wide cast of Seven Deadly Sins characters, and I know there is a lot of PNGs of them, and yet for some reason this game decided to stick with just one per character. Doesn't matter what emotion they are showing, it is one still image. Some of them are like happy PNGs while they're just angrily shouting or sobbing and they're sad. It's really confusing. However though, they switched it up on me one time, and I actually wasn't expecting this. They switched Meliodas' PNG from this one to this one. And at this moment, I knew shit was getting real. But some of them look horrible, like Arthur, which is just the only one that comes to mind at the moment. His PNG looks awful, and it looks like it's from Season 4. I'll get into it a bit more when I go into the Demon Slayer, but I'm going to jump a little bit ahead here for a second. So the problem with these anime games is that these animes have moments in them where they're talking about touching stuff, making you feel emotions, maybe getting a little emotional and you're about to cry. And for some reason, both of these games have completely watered down stories. Like, I am going to show you how they kill Helbram off.
まだじゃない。もう止まれないんだよ。もういいんだ。もう休んでいいんだ。いや、久しぶり。ハーレクイーン。
Wow. Just like the anime, huh? Demon Slayer does do this better, but Seven Deadly Sins is absolutely just lazy when it comes to telling you the story. Now, in my last video, I said that the game looked like a PS2 game, and I want to change my opinion on that. Yeah, can you believe that you're allowed to do that? So don't hate me, don't crucify me. I have actually grown to appreciate this game's look. I still would have preferred cel-shaded graphics, But this doesn't look that bad, and it gives the game its own unique style, and it kind of reminds me of the first Naruto Uzumaki Chronicles. The story is watered down, but the gameplay of the story mode is, you know, it's alright. You control Hawk's mom going around the world to get point A to point B, and then they throw you into 3 different gameplay styles. I talked about these in the last video, so I just recommend go and watch those to get to know what they are, but since playing them, they are not bad either, but just for a brief recap, you get these Hawk and Ellie missions where you go around playing as Elizabeth and you have to use Hawk to defend yourself. These are alright, and it kind of just feels like it's filler gameplay. It's not really all that fun, and it's like the same thing each time. They just get progressively harder. The second gameplay style is sort of Uzumaki Chronicles / Dynasty Warrior hybrid of gameplay where you can control the character and all their full movesets, fighting off just goons and bandits and guards and holy knights like that. Then there's the third gameplay option where it's you versus another character, which plays a lot like the multiplayer, which is a great transition into that. Wow, I'm really good at those. You guys see that? Was the second one I did successfully. The multiplayer in this, I told you in the beginning of the video that I've had a lot more experience with it, and that is true. My friend Kyle, who you've seen on this channel before, he participated in the Drunk Discussions video with me about 7 Deadly Sins. See, I almost did a whole 40-minute video on this franchise, 7 Deadly Sins, so I do like it. Also, go watch that video if you haven't, links in the description below. But anyway, him and I played this, and thanks to him, I have had a lot of fun with the multiplayer, but once I played the Demon Slayer multiplayer and then jumped back into the 7 Deadly Sins multiplayer, it was a bit hard to adjust back because it's not like normal fighting games. But when I played the Demon Slayer multiplayer, it was really hard to adjust back to the 7 Deadly Sins multiplayer because 7 Deadly Sins controls way different than Demon Slayer. Now, when covering Demon Slayer, it's going to be a bit different than how I just covered the 7 Deadly Sins game because I haven't talked about Demon Slayer on this channel before. I fell in love with Demon Slayer as soon as I saw it. It easily became top 5 anime. Just by the way, just in case you want to know, that's Death Note, 7 Deadly Sins, Demon Slayer, Goblin Slayer, and The Disastrous Life of Psyche K, in that order. You might recall earlier in this video where I said how I wanted the 7 Deadly Sins game to have the same amount of love and polish that the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games got. Hoping on the side I wanted Demon Slayer to have the exact same love and polish as the Ultimate Ninja Storm game. And ecstatic, I found out that the people making the Ultimate Ninja Storm games actually made this game. So I was ecstatic until I played it, and I got what I wanted, and that's the problem. I guess the saying is true, be careful what you wish for. I completed the entirety of the Demon Slayer game, and I had a lot of mixed emotions. When I was finished, there were some highs, there were some lows, and trust me, we're gonna get into all that. I'm gonna jump ahead a bit, just for a little bit, just to detract and say that if you do not watch the cutscenes and do not care about the collectibles or anything like that, this game is 2 hours long. You go online and look up the runtime. What was that again? Oh, well, 7 hours? Yeah. Where's that other 5 hours at? Cutscenes. 5 hours is all in the cutscenes. Yeah, one downside of the game is that it is mostly cutscenes and gameplay parts that might as well have been cutscenes as well. Jesus Christ, what is this, a Metal Gear Solid game? I think it's very important going in with this knowledge because I sure didn't have it, and I was expecting a big grand adventure in the Demon Slayer world, and I didn't get it. But with all that out of the way, I think let's actually finally get into this game. The first thing I want to point out in this game, no matter what I say in this video, is that this game looks fucking amazing. They really nailed the look here, and honestly, they kinda had to. Since Demon Slayer, for me personally, 50% of that show is the art style. And since Demon Slayer has such a unique art style, it was really cool to see how well it actually translated to 3D. Of course, it's a mixture of 3D animation and cell shading, but this looks really good. Sometimes when playing this game, my brain would be completely tricked into thinking I was watching the show for like split seconds at a time. The game is really convincing and immersive like that. Cause I mean, look, it's like I'm playing the show! You see a cutscene and you're like, wow, this looks amazing, this looks just like the show! And then it keeps going. And then it keeps going and going and going, and good God, there's so many fucking cutscenes in this game. However, when we do actually get to battles, which is the main gameplay style of Demon Slayer, they're pretty fucking good. CyberConnect 2, which is really good at making these arena type fighters, because like I said, they made the Ultimate Ninja Storm games. They obviously did an arena fighter here, and they fucking killed it. It looks and feels amazing. It's nice and tight. The animations are also really fluid. The combos are well done. However, I'll say sometimes when I'm kicking ass, I'll start to notice that the health bar will have like a little lock on it, like it'll start going slower. And then I realized there's a limit on how much I can do. Because not only if I could keep doing a combo, after the second time, they just fly back and hit the ground and I can't hit them anymore. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, in the Ultimate Ninja Storm games, you could just keep stun locking an opponent and easily be done with a battle. I guess they learned from this and decided that, hey, that's kind of not fair. And yeah, it's not fair, but like, come on, give us that back. And I guess from that, I'll just transition right into the battles. Since this is obviously an arena fighter, there is going to be a multiplayer mode and an online mode. And those are really well. I've actually had a lot of time to play both offline and online multiplayer, and I have experienced some lagging and frame rate drops online, but that's just to be expected. And local, it's perfect, it's beautiful, and it's flawless. I will say there's not a lot of characters to choose from in the multiplayer. You can actually see in this that there are just a lot of costume skins. Some of them are actually just DLC. Like if you want all the other Academy characters besides Tanjiro, you have to buy them. That's DLC. But I will say it is finally cool to see Makomo and Sabato as playable characters and see how they would have fought like. Especially Makomo. We didn't see her fight at all in the anime. So it's really cool that they gave her a character and a move list. That is awesome. So the main gameplay is the arena fighting, and as we know, CyberConnect specializes in that. So they did an amazing job and they nailed it. Good job, thumbs up. But I am saying main gameplay style. So that obviously means there's a secondary gameplay style. And yeah, there is. Hey, remember back in the beginning of this video where I said it looked like you could walk around and play the anime? Well, that's sort of true. The other gameplay style, the secondary gameplay style, is like an open world turned linear. I really don't have any other way to explain it other than that. The very first chapter that allows you to actually do this, like this big open forest level that you get to explore that has optional routes that you can take to see extra shit if you wanted to. And then from there, the game just takes a steady decline into linearity. There will be some times where they will just give you control of a scene that could have been a cutscene. There will be times where they will give you control where all you do is walk in a straight line very slowly while forced dialogue comes out. They give you just insight on what the characters are up to or stuff with the story.
Yeah. Are we gonna work together on this?
Sounds like it. Let's go.
Hey, Tanjiro. Don't you think it's weird to take orders from a crow?
This gameplay style frustrated me a lot at times when it came to this, but then I thought, well, it makes sense. How much of Demon Slayer could you really turn into gameplay? But then I thought, why make this gameplay at all? Why not just make this a cutscene? I'd much rather watch a cutscene. But then I thought, why would I want this to be a cutscene? I'd rather just watch the anime because it's a lot better and well told than the shitty watered down story this game tells. And it's just kind of sad that I had to come to that conclusion. It does feel like they just added gameplay for gameplay, and it seems it's just pointless. So I saved the story for last to talk about on purpose because there's really not much to talk about. It is pretty much Season 1 and Mugen Train just morphed and compiled into a 7-hour adventure. The game is broken up into chapters, and in each chapter there are story web segments that start to finish what that chapter is gameplay wise. And as you play through this web, you start to unlock memory fragments, which could be how Demon Slayer ended when it was Tanjiro and Nezuko talking and like paper mache stuff, or it could be just a PNG with text over it to fill in the gaps of the story. I was genuinely at a loss here because I just played through the game, through the story. I didn't even check these memory fragments, which I guess is on me. Like, I would never have guessed to check the memory fragments to fill in pieces of the story. One thing I will give this game credit for is when it tells the story is that there is an English dub option. Thank you. Thank you so much.
To be afraid? Once the transformation has taken effect, you lose your humanity.
Exactly! That's just what I've been dreading about all this! Why can't you get that through your head, huh?
I love it when these anime games go the extra mile and add the English dub. Because believe it or not, while I don't mind watching English subbed, I don't want to read while I'm watching anime. I also multitask, so when I'm like looking at something or writing notes or on my phone, I can also hear the anime and understand what is going on because they're speaking my language. Basically, more animes just need to have English dub where they have it. Like Sins, there is no reason why this didn't have English dub added to it. There was already English for it. But hey, the praises have to stop somewhere, right? And boy, they do. Demon Slayer was ranked #1 anime of all time. The movie in theaters sold like crazy and became a box office smash. You think with all the money that Demon Slayer has made, they would put time and effort into animating these cutscenes. Wrong! They do not. They do the exact same thing that the 7 Deadly Sins game does. It's just still 3D idol models with their just a minor lip syncing here and there. It's lazy. Demon Slayer is a polished game, don't get me wrong. It's well made, but it just screams lazy when it's done like this and when story is told like this. You know, Demon Slayer is also kind of weird if you want to get the full story. Sure, you could just read the mangas, but if you're not like that and you do like to find anime through watching it, I don't blame you. But it's kind of hard to do that because you gotta watch the first season. And you know, animes normally have movies that are normally not canon. Well, Demon Slayer's movie is canon, so you gotta watch Mugen Train. And then, spoiler alerts here, I guess, for the people who want to play through the end of this. There is a little segment at the end of this game, which I cannot show you because my PS5 would not let me record it. There's a little segment at this end of the game where Tanjiro and Rengoku have a spar. And it's just like a little extra added to it. Nothing like major, but I guess it is kind of a fun fight, and the cutscene is really cool too. So you gotta watch the anime, then the movie, and then you gotta play through this entire game and watch that little bit at the end. And then you can get the entirety of the Demon Slayer media. I just know when they make a Demon Slayer movie, it's going to be shit, and I just fear for that. Honestly, I kind of have nightmares over it. So that's pretty much Demon Slayer. I got the PS5 version. There's no PS5 difference that I found. Maybe it loads faster. I don't know. I think you'll have the same experience on PS4 no matter what. There's some things I did want to add right here at the end because they kind of came later. This game is constantly adding characters, like the boss characters. They've added the 4 red characters to the game and to add a bit more variety. So when doing a battle, you have to pick 2 characters. Well, these are kind of like special characters that you pick that only allow just 1 character to be picked. So it is cool that they're adding characters to the game and fleshing it out. It did have a big update which did that. They also added a 60 frame boost, pretty cool. You can immediately tell, and it looks phenomenal when it happens. And there were 2 really standout moments in this game that were small details that they added that I thought were pretty, I was like, huh, that's pretty neat. So there's a part in the anime where Tanjiro fights this demon with arrows that he shoots out. Forgive me, I don't really remember the name right now. In this game, you fight him as well, and if you get hit by an arrow, you get shot straight up in the air with, if you have like this game's chakra equivalent, I don't know what it's called, you tell me, but the blue bar, if you have some in the blue bar, you can break out of it just like he did in the anime. And I thought that was a really nice touch of that fighting. And the second really cool thing I noticed is that during the Mugen Train fight, once the demon does his sleep attack, if you're playing as Tanjiro, Tanjiro will fall straight asleep. However, if you switch to Inosuke and he does the sleep attack, it doesn't do anything at all. A reference to when they tried to do it in the anime. And it's like, wow, it's like those small things like that I really appreciate. Overall, I will say this game does a much better job over the 7 Deadly Sins game. I think it is a much better experience anime-wise. Both of these cover the first season of their respective animes, and yeah, this sure was Demon Slayer Season 1, alright. It was just a very watered down version of the Demon Slayer story. Also, one last thing at the end here about the Demon Slayer story. When recording footage for the Demon Slayer game, I would have, for the early chapters, like hour 30 of gameplay for each chapter. And then later on, that number started getting lower and lower. And there were 2 chapters, God, I can't believe it squeaked right there. There were 2 chapters in the game that were just 25 minutes apiece. And I was like, that's strange. But it makes sense because you barely do shit in those chapters. And that's pretty much what I have to say about the Demon Slayer game right now. It's good. I'd recommend getting it if you've seen the anime, though. If you haven't seen the anime, you're going to be completely lost. Moments aren't going to hit you like they would hit you in the anime. And the anime is a much better experience because you're just mostly watching it in this game anyway. The multiplayer is good, and I'm pretty sure that's what they want this game to live off on. And on that regard, I don't know how competitive this is going to get, but hey, I hope this game sticks around for a while because I like the fact that there even is a Demon Slayer game. Even though this game is not that great as a game, I still like that it exists. It's really cool. Even the 7 Deadly Sins game, I like that this exists too. It's due to another game called 7 Deadly Sins Grandcross. Now I want to talk about the 7 Deadly Sins Grandcross for a minute, and it's because I feel like I kind of have to. I mean, I have been sinking time into the game every day for the past almost 2 years, and that's crazy because I've had a much better experience on the phone game than I had on the PS4, which personally I think is unheard of. So real quick, for a bonus, I want to talk about Grandcross, and let's do it. Now, right in the beginning, I just want to say it's so weird to see that this mobile game got a lot more love put into it than a PS4 game did. This game is constantly getting updated. It's constantly giving us new characters. It's constantly giving us daily rewards. And it's constantly just giving us a bunch of love for the 7 Deadly Sins. The animation in this game is a lot better than the PS4 game as well. The animation is a mix of 2D and 3D, kind of like how Demon Slayer was, but this game has its own little cartoony art style. The story is the exact same thing as the PS4 game. It's just the story of the anime. It's a watered down version, but however not as bad as this PS4 version. The game gets updated every Tuesday, and sometimes we get these like super weird collabs events into the game, like the 7 Deadly Sins with Stranger Things. Like that was really weird, but like we've also had some cool ones like the 7 Deadly Sins with Attack on Titan. That was really awesome. The characters are cool too. Like I said, they're constantly adding new ones. But I mean, there is a lot of characters in this game, and every character can have equipment added to them. Every character can be awakened 6 times and then super awakened 6 times. And you can literally play as every single character. I mean, it makes sense because every character essentially plays the same. It's just pretty much card-based, but it is pretty unique because it has like a rock, paper, scissors kind of fighting style to it when you're using the characters. And also each character has a multiple amount of cosmetic costumes that it's actually kind of overwhelming, I'm not gonna lie to you. Now this is the part I normally hate. I like showing gameplay when I talk about these things, however I hate showing gameplay for 7 Deadly Sins Grandcross, and it's because my game is constantly updating. Like I said, I play this game every day, so every day my box number is constantly growing. I'm constantly doing new things in it. So when I show you gameplay footage, it's immediately outdated the moment I show it. So I'm going to show you this now. I just hit 3 mil on my box. Here's all the characters I have right now. By the time this video comes out, this box number is going to be way higher than what it is now. So at the time of this recording, it is December 15th, 2021 right now at the time I am recording this bit, and I plan to get this video out like later in this month. So yeah, it's gonna be outdated no matter what. There's demons to fight, there's PvP online, there's special events that show up here and there. It's pretty much a unique and fun little game. However, I do have to mention that 7 Deadly Sins Grandcross is a gacha game. So it's not perfect. Honestly, this game heavily wants you to pay to win, but don't give in to that. Just play the game and earn the diamonds yourself. It's worth it in the end, trust me. And while I love this game, I do get pretty angry with it sometimes. Sometimes you'll just spend all your diamonds on one banner, because this game has banners that you can pull characters on, and right now at the time of this recording it is New Fairy King, and they just won't give it to you. And I am kind of embarrassed, so I'm not going to say the amount, but I have spent so much money on this game. Actually, I don't even think I could give you a good proper estimate, but I have spent so much money on this game just to be right in the back. And that's my fault, damn it. My luck. I don't know what it is. So I do have one thing I do want to touch up on Grandcross before I leave, and this is directly to you, Netmarble. Yes, you, Netmarble, the people who make this game. I just want you to add one feature. You're constantly adding new stuff, and honestly, when I first played this, I gotta tell you, it was fun, nice and simple. Now, I can only imagine if a new player gets on this game, it is going to be so confusing and overwhelming because you've added so much stuff and constantly updated game, and thank you for that. I love it. Now, add a trade system, and then this game is going to be perfect. For the people who don't know what I'm talking about, in this game you can make, however, sometimes there is a limit on how many items you can collect in a day, but if there was a trade system that you could do with your friends that you make on the game, kind of like online, because you could do online sparring with them, you can message them, sort of, in the game. So, add a messaging system too. So a messaging system and a trade system. And then I think Grandcross is going to be the best 7 Deadly Sins game out there. Unless they want to give another stab at this, and I really hope they do because there's so much potential here. I didn't really want to focus on Grandcross, at least in this video. But I do feel that when I talk about this PS4 game, I have to bring Grandcross up because Grandcross just is everything I wanted the PS4 game to be. Like, so much. And animation, design. I don't understand how a mobile game got more love and polish than a PS4 game did. And this is the era of updates. And this game, for what I know, only had one update, and it was the 10 Commandment update. But that didn't fix anything. I just added more characters, which I guess good on them, but come on, man. Anyway, that's all I pretty much wanted to say about Grandcross. So it's time for, I guess, the end. We're going to wrap this video up now. It's been long enough. I didn't know how to make this segment any different, so normally I wouldn't wear my glasses on camera. I think I've only let that slip one time in the Christmas special 2020. However, I couldn't think of a way to make this segment different, so I changed the camera angle a bit, and I'm wearing my glasses. So here's how we're going to wrap the video up. So you just sat down and watched 30 minutes of me talk about Demon Slayer and 7 Deadly Sins. These two games in particular, and Grandcross a little bit. It's a shame to think about what these games could have been. 7 Deadly Sins, it could have been an amazing, loved, polished, quality game up there with the Ultimate Ninja Storm games. But like those, unlike when you ask for that, I kind of got it with the Demon Slayer stuff. And I do want to touch up on something about this. When I was talking about the cutscenes in the Demon Slayer segment, I forgot to bring up that Demon Slayer, this game right here, also has really great cutscenes. So good that sometimes it's like I was watching the anime. So don't listen to that Storm. That was a week ago Storm. That was not wearing his glasses type Storm. Just on that one part though, everything else is true. But yes, Demon Slayer does actually manage to have some amazing cutscenes. Honestly, I like the fact that both these games exist. I wished more love got put into them, and I gotta be real with you, I wasn't really prepared for an ending. So both these games have their ups and they have their downs, and while I think Demon Slayer is the clear better experience over these two, this has more gameplay to it. Like I said, with Demon Slayer, the biggest problem is that you're mostly just watching it instead of playing it. If you were to skip the cutscenes and everything, like I said, it would be 2 hours long, and I'm not exaggerating. You could speedrun the fuck out of this game, it's so short. But with one season in a movie, there's not much source material they can go off of, and that's why a lot of these anime games from the past, like the Hinokami Chronicles or the Ultimate Ninja series even, they all had like additional spin-off stories because at the time there wasn't much source material to pull from. And then, I don't know, later Ubisoft just decided to show people and show these scrubs how it's done and make the perfect Naruto game. So, pick up these games. They're good. They're good. And with Sins, well, when it comes to the presentation, it's really just underwhelming. And when you look at the quality of how they present it, it's like a PS2 game with its minor mouth movements and stuff. There's not a whole lot of animation. And the controls are loose, and the fighting is unique, I'll say, but not the greatest. The fighting in Demon Slayer, though, is top notch, and that is my final result on that. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they were banking on Demon Slayer lasting for a long time because they're updated it with new characters, so I'm sure that they're gonna keep updating this game, and they want the fighting to last, so here's to the future of this game, and here's to the fucking second season. Let's get it! And at the time of recording this, they had just added 2 new characters to the game, just proving my multiplayer point. Guys, this is the longest video I have done in this format, and I wanted to upload this toward the end of the year to give my big send-off to 2021. This was a great year for the channel, and this actually became way too ambitious for me than I actually wanted it to, and I've had to break it up and split it up and cut the video files up in Vegas, and it's just been a whole ordeal with this video. It got way too big than what I normally thought it was going to be, so I did it. Video is now over. We've reached the end of it, so I'm gonna do my normal YouTube spiel and we're gonna get on out of here. Guys, I have an Instagram, I have a Twitter, and you guys can go follow those. The links to those will be in the description below. And please, oh please, because this video took a quick hot minute to make, can you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications, because I wouldn't want you to miss a single upload I do. Well, I got a 30+ video out of this, and it only costed me my insanity. I wonder how the commentary community feels with their fucking 3-hour videos. And with all that said, guys, I'll see you guys in 2022. You take care.